Hello, everyone. This is Coach Jackie Zach, and I'm excited to have Tony Becker, the owner of Toned Body Fitness, with us today. Tony grew up in a small town called Two Rivers, Wisconsin. It was there that he first discovered his passion for the fitness field. He was overweight as a child, topped out at 260 pounds in high school when he realized he needed to make a change. The summer between his sophomore and junior year, he went from 260 to 185 by sticking to a strict exercise routine. With the physical transformation of himself and newfound confidence, he quickly changed his career path towards the health and fitness field. Tony graduated from UW La Crosse with a degree in exercise and sports science with a minor in nutrition and strength and conditioning. This education was able to bring him all over the United States while he worked with everyone from professional athletes to brand new fitness clients. Since bringing his talents to the Milwaukee area, he has been fully engulfed in the health and wellness field for over 15 years. His passion for the field and for his client success shines through each and every time he works with clients and trainers. Tony had the opportunity to start his own business, and he created Toned Body Fitness, which we're going to learn a little bit more about today. He loves to travel, and this was great. I love this part of it. Immerse yourself into different cultures and seeing how people live across the world and experience what they experience to the best of their ability. And he and his wife take two trips a year, one in April to celebrate their birthdays and one in November to celebrate their anniversary. And the world should know he might just be the Midwest's best smoothie maker. In his free time, in addition to traveling, he likes to hang out with his wife and two dogs. We are joined today by one of them. He likes to swim, golf, watch sports, read at night, and all kinds of good things. It is my pleasure to welcome Tony Becker to our show. Welcome, Tony. And I didn't even ask you, what is the name of your guest?
This guy is Mac, so he follows me everywhere. So he'll be joining us today since he gets separation anxiety and will be barking at the door. So
Oh, really? I'm
Mac,
very excited about that because I love dogs and I know other people do too. So we're really glad to have you both here.
excellent.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your personal story?
Yeah, well, kind of like you mentioned in the introduction, grew up in small town Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Um, Dealt with weight issues as you mentioned. I think you got it really clear there in your introduction. Just struggled with weight, got real heavy. Found some paths in order to lose weight and kind of redirect my life to a healthier lifestyle, and then took my talents to lacrosse to kind of pursue the health and wellness field. With the transition that I was able to do myself as far as changing my life path, my confidence, my body structure. I wanted to be able to do that for other people. So went to lacrosse, enjoyed it out there, took an internship down in Arizona. They traveled me all over the place. I was working with professional athletes, military, general population, youth athletes, just a really wide variety of individuals getting to work with, and it was fun. I never really traveled before that, so got to do that. Eventually ended up in Milwaukee, working in the fitness field, kept working my way up. And then, as you mentioned, almost 6 years ago now, started Tone Body Fitness. So my own branch of the fitness brand where we're growing year after year. And it's brought me to where I'm at right here, right now.
Excellent. I loved how you kind of based on your education, and everything, you kind of bring a little of everything that someone needs to have a healthy journey. I love that.
Yeah.
So what's a funny story that your family tells about you that you are willing to share?
Funny story. I mean, I'm kind of a goofball. I kind of grew up as a goofball, anyways. So they would probably have a lot of stories about. As far as like one I can remember, I know my family laughs about like as a as a baby, basically. I never crawled forward, which I guess is kind of weird. So I always crawled backwards, pushing my butt backwards when I was crawling, and
Right?
eventually I just stood up and started walking. So I never had any forward crawling experience. So I know at family get-togethers we'll joke about Tony never being able to crawl forwards in his life.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a story about how your business came about and at what point did you have the confidence that you could run your own business?
Yeah, I mean, being in the fitness field, I saw a lot of things. I tried to immerse myself in as many opportunities as possible. Um, I was in a transition where I was in the fitness field, and then I had some other opportunities present itself that would be taking me out of the fitness field. But I had a client, a lot of clients actually that were really keen on me staying in the fitness field. So we met at one of their houses one evening. It was a big get together, little celebration, and one of them kind of had a script, kind of the outline of what it would look like starting a business, and it intrigued me. So we kind of went through the details of what it would look like. And previously, I was doing a lot of business operations stuff, the accounting, the marketing, the operations, the basically HR stuff with hiring, firing. So doing that stuff. So it's always a passion of mine to get into as far as I could with the fitness field. Not always an owner, but the opportunity presented itself. Uh, Hopped into it. We started the business, like I said, now almost 6 years ago, and it was
Oh,
just
wow.
it was fun for me. I'm really passionate about the fitness field. I'm passionate about helping people. It wasn't always I need to get to be an owner to make a ton of money. It was more of I need to impact as many people as I can. What strategies, what vessels can I do that with? And having a fitness studio was a great opportunity for me to do that.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your company. What makes you unique?
Yeah, so the company's Tone Body Fitness right now are
Mhm.
based out of Elm Grove, Wisconsin, and the community is amazing. The community that we have in studio, as well as just the Elm Grove community in general, our staff is incredible. So what kind of separates us is we really focus on a team approach at the studio. A lot of fitness industries is very individualistic, where a trainer gets started, they're kind of set out on the floor to make their own living, trying to recruit their own clients, which there's pros and cons with that. But we really focus on at Tone Body Fitness, all working together as a team where none of us have specific clients. We all work with
Mhm.
all the clients, which is really nice for the clients aspect and the staff, where I kind of saw all the things from my experiences that I didn't love, didn't gel with, and kind of try to take those out and implement the areas that I thought were huge in the fitness field.
Well,
The
that's awesome.
teamwork aspect, the balance of life, the team outing, so the team also gels together. Building
Great.
that community. We have a studio where everything is all inclusive under one roof. So we offer like private training, group classes like boot camps, yoga classes. We got nutrition services. So nutritional counseling, a little bit of everything. It keeps the workday fun and interesting every single day we're there.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. So tell us a little story about when someone pushed you or inspired you that you knew you could do it and the impact that that had.
Um, it feels like inspired. It probably was installed in me as like a youth. Like I grew up in a single family household and just watched my mom like work
Mm.
super hard. I mean, two jobs for just I'm an only child as well. So for her and I to survive, my mom just worked her tail off to provide for us, and really to make sure like I never was left out of anything or felt any less adequate than anybody else in my class, my peers, my friends, my family, stuff like that, where just seeing the amount of dedication and discipline, hard work she would put in just to, sacrifice that for me so I would have like a good upbringing. Like, we didn't come from a lot of money, barely at all, but I never felt that way. And little tiny stories from that, like, I played sports, so everybody's getting new basketball shoes. We didn't really have money for new basketball shoes, but somehow my mom would find some way to get income. So then I wasn't the only one left out with new basketball shoes. So I'd have basketball shoes for the basketball season. Same thing, football season would come around. I'd be able to get some cleats, some football shoes for that. So it's just seeing that. I think it was just installed in me as a youth, like, her hard work, what I do now, I don't even think comes close to like how much she put in for our, growth and being able to survive. So it was a huge inspiration, and it still is. I'm still,
Right.
still,
Wow. How your mom, how wonderful is your mom? That is awesome.
she's
That is
incredible.
awesome. And now look at you with all the hard work she put in, all the hard work you've put in. Now you owned your studio for 6 years and employ. It's awesome. What a great story.
Hey, thank
So,
you.
the audience for our interview here is mainly business owners or
Okay.
business people. So, what was your biggest learning as a business owner?
Biggest learning?
Mhm.
Well, we started a few years before the pandemic of COVID. So I think for us, and myself, was just the ability to adapt, pivot. You have to, as a business owner, you can't really be stuck in your ways. You have to be open to change and adaptability. And the people that succeed in business, in my belief, are the ones that are able to see opportunity where other people don't. A success story from our business during COVID. We actually grew. I know a lot of business had to shut down. I was a little nervous that I may have to lay some of our staff off, but we actually were able to add staff because since everybody shut down and we're in the fitness industry, all of our clients have friends, family all over the globe. So and everything was shut down. So we implemented virtual training similar to this. So we're
Mhm.
doing a podcast virtually. We did the same thing training and then implemented. We got clients from Florida, Paris,
Wow.
Hawaii, Texas, South Carolina, you name it, Switzerland. And we've kept a good amount of them to this day. So we've implemented a process and operational piece into our business from the pandemic, and it allowed us just to be successful. So now even on a day-to-day basis for our trainers, they might have a couple in-person sessions, virtual sessions, then back to in-person, back to group classes. So it was a challenge, but a challenge that myself and the team were willing to take on, and it allowed us to grow. And like I said, the ability to adapt and pivot allowed us to be successful in that situation.
Wow. That's awesome. I mean, it's very inspirational. And how cool is that, right? And I know, you mentioned your biggest challenge over the years was COVID, and sounds like you and your team um, got each other through, and your clients, right?
Yeah.
And your clients who were supporting you as well. So, if you had to pick three people on your business owner journey that you are most grateful for being there for your business growth, who are they?
Three people. I'd say number one, my wife. I mean,
Mhm.
she's my constant support, where she's always the one that always encourages me to, kind of put myself out there, experience the things in, the fitness field, not being open to opportunities. And it's just the constant support, obviously
Mhm.
with the business owner, there's a lot of hours into it. I know she would love to be able to, have dinner as a family together every night, but sometimes my schedule doesn't allow that, where I have, especially in the beginning when I was getting the studio up and running and operating, it's a lot of hours, it's a lot of time. So just the constant support and encouragement and like love from my wife, I think was huge. And just the mindset of me being able to continue it and seeing that it's a, it's a process, but I'm supported
Yeah.
in the whole way. So I think she's extremely valuable in the process of being a good business owner. Two, I have a business partner, Kim, who's like constantly supportive, was really the one, like I mentioned, that meeting that we had that kind of displayed a little business plan. She's a very educated individual that, operates businesses and very financially savvy. So we went through the information and numbers of looking at businesses, what it would take to get something started. It's just
Mhm.
it's a constant support. We meet all the time, going over the financials, the projections, what I'm doing, what my game plan is, and she's just constantly supportive. I know sometimes with like business partnerships, it's not always people can like butt heads and not always be on
Right.
the same page. And I'm extremely blessed and lucky that I don't have that. We gel really well. She's open to my ideas, even if they're really crazy and out there. She's like, "Yeah, Tony, I believe in you. You can do that. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. Let's get it done." So I feel she's extremely instrumental in my success in this business. Um, and then third person that comes to my mind again is my mom.
Sure.
Has mentioned, obviously was the inspiration of just working hard, but just you know, being able to be successful. I feel it's a prideful thing. If you have pride in your work, you'll be successful. It's like when nobody's watching you, what are you doing? Are you cutting corners? Are you taking shortcuts? Are you putting in the extra work? And I feel like with how hard I saw my mom working, but never saw her complain about the hours put in or, Tony, we're not buying those expensive shoes. You don't need that. Like I never heard that. So I feel like seeing that and being engulfed in that type of upbringing, um, there's no excuse. I have to have a disciplined mindset and, strict focus because it's just how I was brought up and how my, mom raised me. So I feel like with those three individuals in my life, it was instant success in a constant support, providing guidance, and just being there for me. So I think those
Great.
people a ton.
I was going to say, if you didn't mention your mom,
Highly valued in this whole situation.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what's the next big thing for you in your business?
Um, Funny you should say that. So there was this last weekend we had a little kickoff party. So I was recently selected by Lululemon to represent their company as an ambassador. So I'll be working with them on some new initiatives, as another support system as well. So I don't know if you're familiar with Lululemon, but
I
it's a
am.
huge brand in the fitness industry, and they're goals, strategic objectives, vision are very closely aligned to what I as well focus on in the fitness industry, as well as Tone Body Fitness, our business of just bringing the community together, connecting, and building a healthier, stronger community through like events, through social connection. So, with this ambassadorship, we're going to be working hard to create that opportunity for as many people, fitness professionals, as well as participants, clients, staff, things like that as well. So that's a huge thing for not only the growth of Tone Body Fitness, but just the fitness industry in general. I mean, I
Right.
know with you doing podcasts and probably staying up to date in the fitness industry, it's an industry that's growing year after
Yes.
year after year at a
Yep.
pretty phenomenal rate, especially after pandemic. So, we're just going to be continuing to be present in the fitness community and then just growing and collaborating with as many people as possible.
Great. So, as you're growing and as you have this new ambassadorship, what do you think are because, growing, it's not all straight line, right? Sometimes there's a lot of zigs and zags. So,
Yeah.
what do you think is going to be the next big challenge in terms of the growth for you?
Next big challenge.
Yeah, what's the challenge to growing is really what I'm asking.
I think commercial real estate prices is a big challenge right now. The
Okay.
interest rates. So, with expansion of facilities, we've looked at multiple locations. We will be expanding in the next, few years here. We just have we have people in place that are ready to grow. We have the opportunity to be able to be present in multiple communities. But the challenge are just these super high commercial real estate prices. And as a person in the business industry, that's probably the number one killer for small businesses is your overhead. And if you're paying a high amount, especially in the beginning, and you're trying to recuperate that income on the
Mhm.
back end, it's difficult. Not saying it's impossible. So I feel like that is right now one of our big challenges. Uh, but I like challenges. It's not anything that stops me. I actually really enjoy those because it sounds cliche, but it's really how you grow. Like
Right,
stop,
right,
if you stopped every single time a challenge came in your life, I mean, where would you go, right? Like
right.
you got to
You're
see.
absolutely right about that. It's either, some people quit when it gets too hard, and if
Sure.
you keep going, obviously then there's the rainbow and the pot of gold at the end, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's great. So what advice do you have for business owners who are trying to do this all by themselves?
Uh, yeah, to grow a business, to start a business, I would say that write down the goals that you want to accomplish. I would not get so stuck into like social media. I know there's a lot of comparison syndrome going around where people see, people in their younger 20s already multimillionaires. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but that's not the norm. It takes
Right.
hard work. People aren't overnight successes. Like I've been in the fitness industry for almost 20 years, so this is a long journey. It's a fun process. You have to enjoy it, but be willing to put in the work. If you want to be successful, it's not nobody's going to give you anything. It's not like, oh, all these people are going to help me with these handouts. Like you are going to have to put in late nights. You're going to have to put in early mornings. You're going to have to work weekends. And not saying that, every single day, 18 hours a day of work. Obviously, you want to balance your work with, life and work balance so you can
Mhm.
enjoy it. Because, that's life, right? Enjoy it as much as you can,
Yep.
but it's not easy. It's not an easy industry to get into. I
Yep.
know when I first started, or was going to open my own business. I was telling friends and stuff my game plan, what I was doing, and it was funny because I said, like, for me, I was in the fitness industry. I said I like it because now if the business is successful, it's because of things that I'm doing. If it's not successful, it's because of things that I'm doing, and I
Yep.
like the harder I work, the more successful the business can be. But it was funny because some of my friends were like, "Oh man, that's scary. Like you want all that responsibility on yourself. Like I don't know if I could handle that, or just these things that I didn't even think of." But then as they said it, I'm like, you know what? That could be seen as scary. You're right. Like I didn't process it that way, but yeah, when everything comes down to you, it's a lot of responsibility. So, um, if it's something that somebody out there is trying to get into the business world of any sorts, it's great. It's a constant grind, but it's rewarding because you learn things along the way. And one
Hmm.
thing I teach my staff is like don't look at failures. If you fail at something, look at it as like a growth opportunity. What did you
You
learn?
bet.
You know,
Yes.
I think if you put a mindset like that on any type of, it doesn't have to even be in the fitness industry. It could be in relationships. It can be in
Hmm.
your daily life. It could be with like your health and fitness. Maybe you tried to lose 20 pounds and you didn't get it when you thought you would. Well, don't give up. Like, what did you learn? Well, I learned that I can't stop snacking at night, or I can't give up alcohol, or I can't. My weekends are way different than my weekdays. So, it's one of those things where it's a constant grind to be successful in whatever endeavor you do. If it's business,
Hmm.
health, financial, relationship wise, you got to put in work to be successful.
Awesome. Well, Tony, it sounds like you've been really blessed with lots of incredible people who've helped you on your journey. What would you like to say to them?
Um, Honestly, just thank you. Like it is not easy to do any of these things by yourself. So obviously, like the people you mentioned who are important in my life to be able to grow this, it's not only them, but it's even some of the people that aren't in your life forever. Like
Hmm.
people that maybe you meet a quick acquaintance for a couple weeks or a couple years. Um, all those people have had a huge impact on me. So if I met you and we met briefly, had some coffee or did an interaction at all, like I still remember a lot of those because they have helped me and I learn from them and take some information from it. But yeah, everybody that's helped me on my journey and continue to help me, continues to support me, like I appreciate it. I really I don't take that stuff for granted. I try and give back as much as I can. I really enjoy getting engulfed into the community, doing as much good work as possible. So, everybody that's touched my life, impacted my life, been a part of the business, currently, past, in the future, if you're not part of the business yet, but you want to be or you're going to be, I look forward to it. And I look forward to the friendship, the camaraderie, and just being able to be part of the constant growth opportunity.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. It
Of
was
course.
such a pleasure to speak with you.
Yes, you as well. And thanks for having me. I really appreciate being on your podcast. And yeah, look forward to what the future holds.
Awesome.